Hey guys, okay, this is really quickly, and I am so disappointed with this. I was so disappointed with this, but this is Scandal, season 5. This is going to be episode 8 and episode 9, which is actually the winter finale. Okay, we start off with episode 8. Melly was trying to blackmail Olivia with telling Fitz about um, Free and Rowan and all of that. So she's like steadily on that bullshit. Um, then she ends up running into a little thing where she runs into Papa Pope, him and Tom, and he basically tells her he is fearing for her safety and his, and he's telling her it really, Lazarus One really has nothing to do with him, and he actually fears for his life and this whole thing. And he also told her how, I've always done my best to protect you. And I don't know whether you believe that or what, but I've always done my best to protect you. And in the case of my death, shit's going to get real in the field, basically. Cyrus ends up going and telling David Rosen about the fact that Rowan is free. And then, just playing the cat and mouse game. And, David's all over it, trying to get everything all together and all of that. Jake and Olivia had a little run in. And Jake basically tells her all about his disdain um, he's like tired of her playing him and always trying to lean on him, and it's all a mess. And fuck her, she's on her own, and he gonna kill Eli when he find him, and that's that. Period. And that he has played you. I don't give a damn what you say. Your dad is playing you. And she was telling him, no, my gut tells me that he's not lying. And he's like, I don't want to hear that bullshit. Sick of it. Sick of it. Then we found out that Huck is actually working with Jake to actually find Rowan. And Huck went so far, and then Huck told Jake, I don't want to go any further because I can't keep my crazy intact. Once I get too far out, I'm not gonna be able to keep my crazy intact. So I got you all the intel that you needed, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave this shit alone because I ain't gonna be able to keep my crazy together. Um, in the meantime, there's this whole thing going on about this treaty and all of this with this foreign country, and there's um, an interpreter, and the official that he interprets for are basically trying to get over here. They want to defect and they want to get over here and all of this. So the interpreter goes to Olivia and he's basically telling her about this because they're trying to sign this little treaty, and the United States doesn't know about this. There's a secret uh, building that they have out in the desert, and they're doing intel and they're doing, we don't know exactly what they're doing, but it's some shady shit going on. So he ends up getting sick and being in the hospital, the interpreter, and Olivia puts her people on it and all of that. And then it looks as though he's lying. It looks as though he's lying. She goes back. She cusses his ass out, basically. As the hospital told him, you're lying and you're on your own. It is what it is. You deal with your people. If they fuck you up, that's on you because ain't nobody tell you come over here with this lying ass bullshit. So, in the midst of all that, Huck and Quinn actually figure out he's not lying. Olivia goes running back, and it's right. She's running back to the hospital. Fitz is just getting ready to sign the paper. Olivia calls Abby and tells her, he ain't lying. The coordinates are correct. There is some shit going on. And they don't know if it's nuclear or what it is, but there's a lot of cooling systems. It's not, they said it looked like a soda factory. It's not a soda factory. So Abby had to literally interrupt with the cameras going. She's like, I can't do this. She's like, do it and do it now. So she stopped everything like right there. It was hot. She stopped everything. Olivia gets there. The guy done already slit his wrists because he's like, I ain't going back. Because he said his people was going to kill him anyway. So he had slit his wrist. Olivia was able to save him and all that. Then we actually found out not only was there the whole thing of being a traitor, to his company, his country. Him and the official that he was actually dealing with, they're actually both gay as well. And that was the whole thing. That was the whole thing. So there was going to be issues. Anyway, so they ended up being able to stay here in the United States. Olivia saved their neck. Olivia's gut saved us from the door, saved our asses. Um, Fitz, they made some different changes, and Fitz with his smart ass mouth going to tell the other leader from the other country, he gonna say, "You do know my people are gonna blow that little pop factory right off of the goddamn map. You do know that." And I cracked that, and he's looking at Fitz as after the papers have been signed. I said, "You tell his ass, Fitz, goddamn punk." Anyway, in the meantime, with all that, David Rosen and Cyrus and all their bullshit, because Cyrus is pissed off with Olivia. So David then got all into all this shit. Olivia's ass ends up getting arrested by the FBI for aiding the release of a prisoner. So toward the end of the episode of episode 8, she's being questioned by Fitz, and now she knows, now Fitz knows that she aided her dad and get released and all of that. She didn't even say nothing about Melly too much. She just, she took it and it was what it was. And she thought that they was really going to be done. Then we end up, when that episode was ending, we actually see Papa Pope done been snatched up. Child Huck got Papa Pope. Because what had happened, Cyrus was happy because Cyrus thought Olivia was going to jail, but Fitz didn't put her in jail, so he knew at least they would be done. He wouldn't have to deal with Olivia anymore. But no, Fitz brought Olivia and trapped her up in that White House, had all her things delivered to the White House, and was like, "Well, you'll be here, you'll be protected, and I understand this, that, and the other." He bought into the whole thing that maybe it really isn't Rowan. And he said, "I got to trust her because her gut saved our ass with that whole thing in the desert and all of that." Cyrus was pissed off. So that's it. So Olivia has officially been moved into the White House. Cyrus is pissed. Jake is still trailing Tom, because they had knocked Tom out. I thought they had killed Tom, but Tom wasn't dead. His ass was knocked out. Huck had Papa Pope. Now that's all that happened in 8. Now 9, the winter finale. This is when shit got on my nerves, because it was just going along. It ended up being this whole long court thing of Melly going against the Senate, and she had to do all these hours trying to save Planned Parenthood, because they were going to do away with Planned Parenthood. And she started seeing just how disrespectful the Senate was and how they just don't care. They just do whatever they want to do. So she took a stand and did all that. And the whole thing, she couldn't leave out of that. You couldn't leave the courtroom. They couldn't leave the premises. They're like, "Fuck it, Christmas will come and Christmas will go. We will not leave until all this is straightened out." And it was going to be like 18 hours. And Melly was doing it. She was, standing up there doing her thing. You're not even allowed to leave to go have a bathroom break. Okay. So they're sitting there watching, waiting on Melly to crumble and all of this. And it was just a mess. It was just boring, and whatever. It just showed Melly. It showed Melly and how Melly's just not going to let you run over her. But we already knew that about Melly. So there was a whole situation. They tried to send a message to the one woman that works real closely with Melly in the Senate, the lady with the dark hair, and she just was shady. She's like, "Fuck her, I ain't helping her." It is what it is. They wanted to get her out of there so she could get a break and get a bathroom, get a bathroom break. They were trying to call on favors and stuff. Nobody was going for it at all. Man, Olivia pulled a stunt on him. Olivia got that goddamn the vice president. She got the vice president, Susan. Susan did the favor for Olivia. She went in there and broke up the things. I had some questions I want to ask. She went in there and broke it up, and Melly was able to go get herself together. Her and Olivia met up in the bathroom or whatever, and she's like, "I can't do this, this, that, and the other." And Olivia was like, "You are the biggest bitch that I have ever met, and you can do this." She pep talked her. Melly went back in, took care of it, and that was it. But I was really pissed off because that did not have to take a whole episode. And that's our cliffhanger, whatever. So I was pissed off about that. But anyway, that was lazy, Shonda. That was lazy as hell. Anyway, David Rosen bought this bracelet that he wanted to give to Liz. Old nasty Liz. And she talked shit and told him, we just fucking. And I don't want no bracelet from you. That's a pretty bracelet. I don't want no bracelet from you and this, that, and the other. Giving him fuck you for Christmas. So David ends up giving the bracelet to Susan. Child, you know, Susan's smitten with David, so she thinks she the shit. Didn't Liz end up seeing Susan with that bracelet and they had the nerve to get pissed? I said, see, that's what you get trying to be old cold hard bitch. And now this bitch got your bracelet, dumbass. You know it wasn't cheap. Come on, he's the Attorney General. Are you kidding? She feels some kind of way, honey. Susan thinks she in love with David, baby. He done gave her a nice little bracelet. But anyway, so that whole thing went down. Let's see. I'm telling you, it was a pitiful episode. Oh, the one good thing, Huck and Papa Pope kind of got into it, and he was trying to antagonize Huck and tell him, you know, you can't go back to your family and all that. You're crazy and this, that, thing. And Huck got to telling him about Olivia and how the president be running up in her, and then Jake be putting his white dick in her. I said, oh, Huck. He did. He broke Papa Pope. I said, that ain't no tear in your eyes, but that ain't no tear. Thought your little black box. Oh, he really gave it to him. Just straight cold, no chaser. And hurt his motherfucking feelings. Okay? So anyway, we had all that go on. Olivia basically tells Fitz, this is our cliffhanger now. Here we go. She was gone. She didn't make it back to this little dinner that she was supposed to get to. He was a little ticked that she didn't make it back. And she's like, whatever. And they get to arguing back and forth. And he's telling her, you know, you didn't even give us a chance. And the other, they basically broke up. They broke up, and she was having an absolute breakdown. He don't even realize exactly what's all going on. He's just thinking Olivia's being shady, and Olivia's just thinking about Olivia, and that's that. But here, Olivia was gone. She didn't make it back to the dinner because the bitch had an abortion. She fucking had an abortion. She aborted Fitz's baby is what had happened. So I was like, okay. But they could have did more story building around that. It was just what it was. So that was our cliffhanger. We found out, what's the little black guy? I can't think of his name. The one that they had captive last season and all that. He was all in it with that Lazarus shit. Child, that motherfucking Jake blew his motherfucking brains out. So that's the end of him. He won't be coming back with his fine ass. He blew his fucking brains out. It's like, okay. And everybody, so we know that Lazarus one did not have anything to do with Eli Pope. Jake took Eli Pope home on Christmas Eve and put him right at his front door. Jake was out there. Put him in front door. Jake told him, you know, it wasn't you. You know, this, that, thing, and the other. He's like, yeah, all my sons have finally came home or whatever. And he going on up in the house. And Olivia and left Fitz and she back in her goddamn apartment on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, everybody done broke the fuck up. And now that was basically it. She did an abortion and everybody's back to their relative spaces. I was so goddamn mad with Scandal, I couldn't get myself together. I'm going to still be watching in January when they come back, but they're going to have to do something. This shit here was just fucking lazy. It was lazy, and I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off with it that I didn't even watch How to Get Away with Murder on Thursday night. I actually didn't watch it till later because I just couldn't take another letdown right there. So that's why my review was late. That's how pissed I was with Scandal. But anyway, How to Get Away with Murder. It was better. It definitely was better. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pissed off with Scandal, and hopefully when we come back after the winter break, everything will be cool. But they got some work to do because that was just fucking lazy. But anyway, that's basically it. If I left anything out, which I don't think I did because didn't shit go on, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys after the holiday with Scandal when they come back. Bye, guys.